Akateko is a yokai from Aomori, Kagawa, and Fukushima prefectures in Japan, particularly in Hachinohe. It is described as a red disembodied hand of a small child descending from a Japanese honey locust tree, often accompanied by the specter of a young woman. The woman's beauty lures unsuspecting passersby into a trance or fever state. Legends differ, with some suggesting that the hand may grab and harm travelers, while most depict it as harmless, merely frightening those who encounter it. In Kagawa and Fukushima prefectures, the spirit is said to travel in pairs, resembling moving feet or legs. Some theories propose that these creatures might be two parts of the same yokai. Despite the eerie nature of the legends, the Akateko is generally considered harmless, only causing fear in those who come across it. A fascinating theory suggests that the Akateko might be an illusion created by other yokai, such as kitsune or tanuki, known for their shape-shifting abilities. Hitotsume Kozo is a yokai in Japanese mythology that takes on the appearance of a bald-headed child with one eye in the center of its forehead, resembling a cyclops. These yokai are generally considered harmless, known for suddenly appearing and surprising people without causing any injury. Despite their potentially startling nature, Hitotsume Kozo are often depicted in a cute or humorous manner in pictures. According to yokai researcher Katsumi Tada, Hitotsume Kozo were initially associated with beans, but over time, their favorite food switched to tofu made from soybeans. Some theories suggest that Hitotsume Kozo may have originated from the yokai on Mount Hiei, known as Ichigan Hitoashi Hoshi, believed to be the transformation of the 18th Tendaizasu, Ryogen. Beto-Beto-san is a Japanese yokai known for following people walking at night, particularly in Udagun, Nara, and Shizuoka. Despite not causing harm, encountering Beto-Beto-san can be eerie. To avoid its company, people are advised to stop on the road, allowing the yokai to pass after saying phrases like, "Go ahead, Beto-Beto-san" in Nara, or "Please go ahead" in Shizuoka. Manga artist Shigeru Mizuki claimed to have had a similar experience. The JR West Sakai Line's Yonago Airport Station is even nicknamed Beto-Beto-san Station. Similar phenomena like Bishakutsu in Fukui Prefecture, a place where invisible objects can be seen after a human walking on a dark night road during the winter, and the more recent Teke-Teke, share similarities with footsteps monsters. Ashinaga Tanaga are a pair of yokai in Japanese folklore, initially described in the Japanese encyclopedia Wakan Sansai Zue. The duo consists of Ashinaga Jin, characterized by extremely long legs, and Tanaga Jin, distinguished by extremely long arms. In their cooperative fishing endeavor, the long-armed man, Tanaga, climbs onto the back of the long-legged man, Ashinaga. While Ashinaga wades into shore waters using his lengthy legs to stay above water, Tanaga employs his extended arms to catch fish from his partner's back. The Wakan Sansai Zue notes that Tanaga, also known as Chohi, boasts arms reaching a length of approximately 9 meters, 29.5 feet, while Ashinaga's legs extend to slightly over 6 meters, 19.6 feet. According to local belief, Ashinaga sightings precede adverse changes in weather. Abura Sumashi, a rare creature from Amakusa folklore in Kumamoto Prefecture, resides in the mountain passes of Kumamoto, particularly the Kusazumigoi Pass. Believed to be the ghost of an oil thief from a time when oil was a precious commodity for lighting and heating homes, encountering Abura Sumashi was considered an eerie experience. Legends recount encounters on mountain passes where an old grandmother might share stories of this spirit, only to have a mysterious voice claim its continued existence. In modern portrayals influenced by Shigeru Mizuki's artwork, Abura Sumashi is often depicted as a squat creature with a straw coat-covered body and a head resembling a potato or stone. This unique appearance adds visual depth to the creature's role in Japanese yokai mythology, highlighting its historical connection to the theft of valuable oil. Hone-onna, meaning bone woman, is a yokai depicted in the Konjaku Gazuzoku Hyaki by Toriyama Seikian. In this depiction, Hone-onna appears as a woman in the form of bones. In a story called Bouten Doro, a man named Ogiwara Shinojo encounters a beautiful woman named Yako, with whom he becomes entangled almost every night. However, one night, an old person from next door catches a glimpse of the strange scene, revealing Shinojo embracing a skeleton. There's also an interesting tale in Aomori Prefecture in which a woman, considered ugly by those around her, transforms into a good-looking skeleton after death and roamed around the town, letting everyone see her. The tale mentions her liking for fish bones and her tendency to collapse upon encountering a high priest. The Bakaneko is a type of Japanese yokai, specifically categorized as a kaibyo or supernatural cat. The association of cats with supernatural entities in Japanese mythology is attributed to various characteristics, such as their unique eye pupils, sparking fur, licking of blood, ability to move silently, and their dual nature of domesticity and wildness. Folk beliefs surrounding the Bakaneko include legends of aged cats transforming into Bakaneko after a specific number of years, often ranging from 7 to 13. There are stories from different regions describing the abilities attributed to Bakaneko, such as shape-shifting into humans, speaking human words, dancing, cursing humans, manipulating the dead, and possessing or attacking humans. Additionally, there are stories of cats seeking revenge against cruel humans, turning into Bakaneko after being brutally killed. Akubozu is a yokai originating from Akita and Iwate prefectures in Japan. In Akita, it's believed to dwell in hearth ashes, particularly in Senboku-gun and Ogatsu-gun, where it emerges while people play with the ash. Throughout the Tohoku region, various traditions suggest the appearance of yokai when engaging with ashes. In Ninohe-gun, Iwate, there's a cautionary tale that those playing with furnace ashes may be drawn in by a monster named Amanisaku and devoured. The phenomenon is sometimes considered a regional genie, and in parts of Fukushima Prefecture, a similar entity called Amanjak is said to emerge from furnaces. In Kunio Yanagida's book, Tono Monogatari, it's mentioned that a ghost named Boko appears in the Tono region when digging furnace ash. These folklore traditions highlight the diverse and region-specific nature of yokai beliefs in different parts of Japan, connecting supernatural entities to everyday activities like playing with ashes. Azuki-ari, also known as Azuki-togi, is a supernatural occurrence in Japanese folklore characterized by the mysterious sound of washing or grinding azuki beans, typically heard near bodies of water, especially rivers. The phenomenon is accompanied by a peculiar chant, "Will I grind my azuki beans, or will I get a person to eat?" The creature or spirit responsible for Azuki-ari is seldom seen, but descriptions portray a short-statured, grotesque figure with a large balding head, crooked teeth, thin mustache, large bulging yellow eyes, and ragged clothes. This entity is often bent over a pail while engaged in washing or grinding azuki beans. The legend warns that anyone who approaches the source of the sound may inadvertently fall into the water. In some variations of the folklore, Azuki-ari is attributed to a tanuki, adding an element of shape-shifting trickster creatures to the tale. The Bait Kujira, also known as the ghost whale or Honi Kujira, bone whale, is a mythical Japanese yokai originating from western Japan. It is characterized as a skeletal whale accompanied by mysterious fish and peculiar birds. The legend surrounding the Bakujira revolves around its role in seeking revenge against individuals who hunt whales or consume whale meat. The yokai enacts its vengeance by cursing those it encounters, bringing plagues and fire as forms of retribution. One narrative recounts a fisherman attempting to catch the Bakujira with a harpoon, only to witness the harpoon passing through it with the ghostly whale floating away. In popular culture, the Bakujira has made appearances, and it is even featured as a playable character in the video game Smite. The Dodomeki is a Japanese yokai depicted as a woman cursed with long arms covered in hundreds of bird eyes due to her habit of stealing money. Described by Toriyama Seikian, the long arms symbolize the belief that people with long arms tend to steal. The bird eyes on the Dodomeki's arms are a reference to the Japanese coin chimoku, a copper coin with a hole in the middle. Originating in the Konjaku Gazu Zoku Hayaki, the Dodomeki's legend is attributed to the Kankan Gaishi, a possibly fictional book. Legends tell of a Dodomeki encountered by a priest named Chitoku, during the Muromachi period. The Dodomeki, seeking to absorb her remaining toxic fumes, caused fires to scare away priests, but after hearing Chitoku's preaching, became enlightened and vowed to cease her evil deeds. The Boroborodon is a malevolent Tsukumogami yokai, originating from Japanese folklore. This supernatural creature takes the form of a tattered futon, sleeping mat, that comes to life at night. Its eerie activities include throwing its former owner out of bed and coiling around the sleeper's head and neck with the intention of strangling them. The Boroborodon is part of the Tsukumogami, a group of yokai that consists of inanimate objects that have gained sentience, either through possession by spirits or through prolonged use over 90 to 100 years. These objects often appear pristine despite their age. The Boroborodon specifically emerges when it feels ignored or unnecessary, engaging in vengeful behavior by haunting inhabited houses and attempting to harm sleeping individuals. Ameona, a Japanese yokai known as the Rain Woman, is illustrated in Toriyama Seikien's Konjaku Hyaki Shui as a woman standing in the rain, licking her hand. In Seikien's depiction, the explanatory text suggests a connection to Chinese goddesses who transform into clouds in the morning and rain in the evening. The origins of Ameona are linked to an episode in the Gao Tangfu by Chu literati Songyu, where a dream involving a woman in Wushan used the phrase, morning cloud, evening rain. There's also a notion that women who lose newborns on rainy days due to kamikakushi, spiriting away, become Ameona, appearing before crying children carrying a large sack. While seen as a bothersome yokai that brings rain, in times of drought, Ameona is sometimes considered a holy rain god who saves people by summoning rain. Daidara Bocchi, a gigantic yokai in Japanese mythology, was known for its immense size, with footprints said to have created numerous lakes and ponds. In one legend, Daidara Bocchi weighed Mount Fuji against Mount Tsukuba, inadvertently splitting Tsukuba's peak in the process. In Ibaraki Prefecture, Daidara Bocchi was seen as a benevolent giant, believed to move mountains to help the local people. A 15-meter statue in Ogushi Kaizuka Park in Mito, Ibaraki, commemorates this yokai and its myths. Legends from Izumo no Kuni Fudoki also speak of Omitsunu, a demigod with giant strength, performing kunibiki to pull land from Silla and expand his territory. Daidara Bocchi was associated with Mount Togakushi, where a pond on its south side bears its name. These legends highlight the yokai's role in shaping the landscape and its benevolent deeds in some regions of Japan. The Amano-jaku is a demon-like creature in Japanese folklore that predates the existence of a written language in Japan. Often depicted as a small oni, the Amano-jaku is believed to have the power to incite a person's darkest desires, leading them to commit wicked deeds. It is characterized by an extremely contrary nature, tending to do the opposite of what it is ordered. One well-known appearance of the Amano-jaku is in the fairy tale Uriko Hime, where a girl born miraculously from a melon is sheltered by an elderly couple. Naively, she allows the Amano-jaku inside, leading to her kidnapping or devouring. In some versions, the Amano-jaku may impersonate her by wearing her flayed skin. The Amano-jaku is often linked to Amano-zako, a wit deity in Shinto mythology, sharing the same contrary nature and the ability to perceive a person's innermost thoughts, an entity described as a very perverted demon. The Inenra, a yokai from Japanese mythology, is composed of smoke and darkness. First introduced in the Konjaku Hyaki Shui around 1781, Inenras primarily reside in bonfires and take human form when they emerge. Legends state that they are visible only to those pure of heart. Inenras are often considered demonic or divine beings associated with darkness and smoke. There are two types of Inenras, the more common type that is born as an Inenra, and the rarer type, which involves humans who have died and transformed into Inenras. In popular culture, the Inenra is referenced in the 2011 video game Mortal Kombat, where the character Smoke, making his first human appearance in decades, is portrayed as an Inenra. The Onyobo is a mythical creature characterized by its blue-skinned, ogre-like appearance, taking on the guise of an ancient court noblewoman. Draped in tattered and moth-ridden kimonos from past eras, she bears the visage of courtiers with high-painted eyebrows and blackened teeth. Legend has it that Onyobo were once court ladies serving noble families until they were wedded to a suitable suitor. Now, they inhabit abandoned houses, once occupied by fallen nobles and ruined families. In these places, they perpetually engage in grooming rituals, applying makeup, fixing their hair, and perfecting their image for anticipated guests who never arrive, such as a lost lover or an absent husband. Intruders who chance upon their domain face the ominous fate of being devoured by the Onyobo, who continue to vainly wait for the next visitor to arrive. Amabi is a legendary Japanese mer creature, described with a bird beak mouth and 3 legs or tail fins. According to the legend, it emerged from the sea in Higo Province, Kumamoto Prefecture, in the Edo period around mid-May 1846. The town's official, investigating nightly glowing sightings in the sea, encountered Amabi. Described with long hair, bird-like mouth, scales from the neck down, and 3 legs, Amabi prophesied 6 years of good harvest. In case of disease, it instructed people to draw its likeness to show to the sick. This tale spread through woodblock printed bulletins featuring Amabi's portrait as a means of protection against illness. The legend reflects cultural beliefs in prophecies and visual talismans for well-being. The Gashadokuro is a mythical creature in modern Japanese mythology that takes the form of a giant skeleton composed of skulls from individuals who died in battle, standing at 10 meters or more in height. Gashadokuro is said to roam around at 2 a.m., attacking and consuming humans upon sight. It produces a clattering sound with its teeth, described as gachi-gachi, as it approaches. Some sources suggest that Gashadokuro possesses powers of invisibility and indestructibility due to its composition of bones from deceased individuals. However, Shinto charms are believed to have the ability to ward them off, and in cases where a Gashadokuro's pent-up anger is released, its bones crumple, leading to its collapse. Hariyanago, also known as Hariona, is a frightening female ghoul in Japanese mythology. Her name translates to barbed woman, and she is described as a beautiful woman with extremely long hair tipped with thorn-like barbs. Hariyanago has the ability to control her hair, using it to ensnare men. According to legend, she wanders the roads of the Japanese prefecture of Ehime on the island of Shikoku. When Hariyanago encounters a young man, she will smile at him. If the young man dares to smile back, Hariyanago will unleash her terrible barbed hair to attack him. The lore surrounding Hariyanago reflects the theme of danger associated with the beauty of supernatural entities in Japanese mythology. Azuki Hakari, also known as the Bean Counter, is a Japanese yokai mentioned in the Edo period's ghost story collection, Kaidan Old Staff. The creature is associated with a poltergeist-like phenomenon, as it manifests through sounds of red beans being counted without any visible presence. According to the account in Ghost Story Old Staff, an old man heard rumors of a yokai appearing at a friend's house in Azabu. Intrigued, the man decided to stay overnight at his friend's house to witness the phenomenon. In the quiet room, loud noises resembling footsteps on the ceiling were followed by the distinct sound of counting beans. Strangely, the sounds shifted to the garden outside the house. When the man opened the sliding doors, he found no one in the garden. Despite the unsettling noises, the yokai just dropped dirt and paper waste from the ceiling without causing any direct harm. Ayakashi is a term used to collectively refer to yokai that manifest above the surface of water. In Western Japan, there's a belief that Ayakashi are the vengeful spirits of those who perished at sea, seeking to capture more people to join them. There's also a folk belief associating live shark suckers with Ayakashi. If this fish gets stuck to a boat's bottom, it supposedly immobilizes the vessel. In Seikien Toriyama's Konjaku Hyaki Shui, Ayakashi is depicted as a large sea snake. An Edo period ghost story in the Kaidanoi no Tsue recounts an incident where a ship sought water and a beautiful woman fetched it from a well, returning to the boat. When the boatman revealed there was no well there, he shared a past tale of a person going missing in a similar situation, identifying the woman as Ayakashi. Fleeing the area, the boatman recounted the Ayakashi biting the ship's hull, narrowly escaping by striking it with an oar. Hitatsume Nyudo is a yokai in Japanese folklore that resembles an Onyuyod monk with only one eye. In Kyoto, it is said that the Hitatsume Nyudo is actually a fox, Kitsune. The Hitatsume Nyudo is linked to the yokai known as Ichigan Hitoashi Hoshi from Mount Hiei. This yokai, resembling a monk with one eye and one foot, was believed to be a manifestation of the 18th Tendai-zasu, Ryogen, or his best pupil, the 19th Tendai-zasu Jinzen. According to legend, this yokai would stare at lazy monks with one eye, and severely lazy monks would be driven out of the mountain. The Hoshi, lamenting the secularization of the monks after Ryogen's death, became a yokai to admonish them. A picture of this Hoshi can still be found at Enryakuji on Mount Hiei. The Akaname, a Japanese yokai, is featured in Toriyama Sekien's Gazu Hyaki Yagyo, originating in 1776, with an earlier version called Akanaburi documented in 1686. This supernatural creature is known as a scum licker due to its penchant for licking filth and scum found in bathrooms and bathtubs. The folklore speculates whether Aka symbolizes impurities of the soul or negative thoughts, serving as a cautionary tale against neglecting cleanliness. Descriptions from Nito Honzo Zusan depict the Akaname as childlike, with a pebbly head, round eyes, and a long tongue. A more sinister version of Akanaburi is taking the form of a beautiful woman who licks away flesh, leaving only a skeleton. An anecdote recounts the unfortunate fate of a man in Banshu who allowed the woman to scrub his back, resulting in his being licked down to his bones and subsequent death. The basan, rooted in Japanese mythology, is a fowl-like bird residing in the mountains of Iyo province. Depicted in works like Ehon Hyakumonogatari and Gazu Hyaki Yagyo, it resembles a large chicken with a vibrant red coxcomb. It usually lives in the bamboo groves of mountain recesses, but sometimes materializes in human villages late at night. The basan emits a cold, non-burning ghost fire from its mouth, accompanied by an eerie rustling sound when it flaps its wings. Legend has it that if a person glimpses the bird and looks outside, the creature mysteriously vanishes. In popular culture, the basan's influence is seen in Pokemon like Torchic, Combusken, and Blaziken, as well as Magmar. Amazake Baba, also known as Amazake Banba, is an elderly yokai from Miyagi and Aomori prefectures in Japan. Legend has it that she appears at houses late at night, asking in a childlike voice, "Might you have any amazake?" However, those who respond to her call fall ill with either smallpox or the common cold. In a time when smallpox was prevalent, she was regarded as the goddess of the disease. To ward her off, people place cedar branches in doorways, and mothers make offerings to prevent their children from getting sick. It's crucial to note that a sign declaring "we do not like sake" or amazake is effective against Amazake Banba, who differs from Amazake Baba as she attempts to sell her sake and amazake door to door, bringing disease to those who answer. The Furaribi is a mysterious fire yokai that appears in traditional Japanese yokai artwork, such as the Gazuyaki Yagyo, the Hayakai Zukan, and the Bakemono Zukushi. These depictions vary, portraying Furaribi as birds with dog-like faces engulfed in flames, while some showcase a bird with a face reminiscent of Garuda from Hindu mythology. The lack of explanatory text accompanying these artworks has led to uncertainty regarding the Furaribi's exact nature. However, a theory suggests that they symbolize the incarnations of fire originating from deceased individuals who did not receive proper memorials. Over time, these spirits are believed to have undergone a transformation in appearance, eventually manifesting as the depicted yokai. Futakuchi Onna is a yokai characterized by having two mouths, a regular one on her face and a second one on the back of her head, hidden beneath her hair. The lack of sustenance triggers the appearance of the supernatural second mouth, which mumbles threatening things, demands food, and can screech and cause pain if left hungry. The narrative often involves the woman's hair transforming into serpentine shapes, allowing the second mouth to consume twice the amount of food. In some versions, the extra mouth is the result of a wound caused by an accident, like being struck by an axe. Another storyline suggests that the spirit of a neglected child may be involved, seeking revenge for being starved by its caregiver. Akashita, a Japanese yokai, appears in Edo period yokai amaki and is depicted as a beast with clawed hands and a hairy face covered with dark clouds. Its mouth is open with a big tongue. Seikin's portrayal in Gazuhyaki Yagyo lacks an explanatory note, but its origins can be traced to Akaguchi in older Edo period yokai scrolls. The name Akashita suggests a metaphor for dirtiness, and the saying, "the tongue is the gate to calamities." In various amaki, including Jikai Sugoroku and Hyaki Yagyo amaki, Akashita is depicted with a sluice, possibly symbolizing that an open mouth leads to misfortune. The yokai may have connections to Shakuzetsujin, a red-tongued god guarding Jupiter's western gate, and Shakuzetsu Nichi, an unlucky day in Onmyodo. Akashita's association with water in farming country ties it to folklore, where it punishes those who steal water during droughts by swallowing them with its giant red tongue. Akugyo is a sea monster in Japanese mythology that haunts the seas near Kibi province. These colossal fish capsize ships feasting on drowning sailors. Some breathe fire or resemble giant ningyo with gold and silver scales. With a mermaid-like form, Akugyo may sport two white oni-like horns. Fishermen fear them as boats can be trapped between their fins, making the crew vulnerable. In 1805, a sighting off Echigo province led Lord Matsudaira to dispatch an armada of 1,500 men and 450 cannons that successfully slew the creature. A legendary tale involves taiko drummer Izutsuya Kanroku, whose boat got stuck over an Akugyo. Playing his drum with intensity, the sound freed his boat, showcasing the power of music against mythical sea monsters. Amikiri, a Japanese yokai depicted in Toriyama Seikien's Gazuhyaki Yagyo, is portrayed as a creature with a combination of features resembling a serpent, bird, crab, or lobster. Amikiri is known for its habit of using claws to cut through fishermen's nets and mosquito nets, leading to its characterization as a pest. One legend from the Shonai region in Yamagata Prefecture recounts how an Amikiri repeatedly cut fishing nets in a village. In an attempt to thwart the creature, a person quickly brought the net home and hid it. However, the Amikiri retaliated by cutting the mosquito nets in the person's room, resulting in mosquito bites all over their body. Some doubt the authenticity of this legend, suggesting it might be an invention rather than a traditional tale. Amefurikozo, a Japanese yokai depicted in Seikien Toriyama's Konjaku Gazu Zoku Hyaki, is associated with the rain god Ushi. In the Konjaku Gazu Zoku Hyaki, it wears a Japanese umbrella with a missing central pole and carries a paper lantern. Some interpretations suggest a play on words, symbolizing a child employed by an adult. In modern yokai literature, theories include one where stealing the Amefurikozo's umbrella results in being unable to take it off. Another theory suggests they delight in making it rain, causing trouble for people. According to some accounts, Amefurikozo adjusts rain, influencing the natural balance of living things. In a story from Tokukaida no Tabi, an Amefurikozo assists a fox in performing a wedding ceremony by summoning rain at Senin Pass in Iwate Prefecture.